Typically, squirrels tend to be extremely wary of humans and tend to steer clear of any kind of human contact. Therefore, it is intriguing that a certain squirrel approached a man and pleaded for his help in rescuing her offspring. The subsequent events are truly remarkable. Mikhail's daily routine involved taking a stroll in the park located near his residence, which served the dual purpose of enabling him to breathe in some fresh air and engage in physical activity. This practice proved especially crucial during the peak of the pandemic, as leaving our homes was a vital component of our daily routine, and Mikhail was no exception. Additionally, Mikhail took pleasure in observing the various small creatures and avian species that called the park their home. The park boasted a plethora of squirrels that were constantly scurrying and leaping amidst the branches. However, they would swiftly dart away upon sensing any human presence or movement in their vicinity. Squirrels can be really friendly when they live close to people and become relatively tame. They often get to know the humans if they live in yards, and they can take food from them. There are plenty of videos of wild squirrels making themselves at home in people's yards, but normally that's in areas where only a few people interact with the squirrels and they get used to the person they see every day. But in this park, the squirrels didn't get too close to the humans. There were too many people that came around and they couldn't bond with one specific person. There were also many squirrels living in the park, so they stayed with their own kind as much as possible. With plenty of food everywhere and lots of trees and water, they didn't need the care of humans until one of these little squirrels did find herself in desperate need of some human muscle. It was another lovely day in the park, and Mikhail was taking a lovely stroll when something at his feet caught his eye. He looked down and was surprised to see a squirrel circling his feet. It was the first time that any of the park squirrels had gotten so close to him, and he found it very charming, but also very confusing. He tried to step to the side, and as the squirrel would just keep close, he would stand still, and she would check him out and even start to tug at his pant leg. It was really strange. There weren't many other people around, so it made sense that she came up to. At first, Mikhail thought that the squirrel must be looking for water or food. He knew that he probably shouldn't feed the animal, but he also didn't know what else to do, so he put some water in his water bottle lid and put it on the ground next to the squirrel, but she just kept pulling on his pants. It definitely wasn't water that she wanted. That left Mikhail scratching his head once. He had some unsalted nuts in his pocket and figured that if she was hungry enough to beg for human food, this should help her out, but once again, she just ignored the offer and tried to get his attention. When he started walking, she ran out in front of him, but kept turning back as if watching to see if Mikhail would follow. His curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to go after her. She ran into the wooded area of the park over some big rocks and underneath a big tree stump. For a moment, Mikhail thought that he had lost her, but when he didn't follow quickly enough, she popped back up to see where he was, and then waited for him to follow again. They went to a bunch of large trees, and the squirrel went to a big bush underneath one of the trees. As Mikhail got closer, he saw that there was a tiny baby squirrel lying underneath the brush. It had a leg that was hurt and couldn't move easily. The squirrel went up to her baby and looked at Mikhail as if begging for help. Mikhail wasn't sure how to help at first. He had no idea what to do with an injured baby squirrel, but he also didn't want to let the mommy squirrel down after she had begged for his help. She seemed to trust him, and he would do all he could to deserve it. Then he looked around that area in the park and saw a big cat inside one of the trees. He was watching the squirrel carefully, and each time he moved closer, the squirrel would try to get behind Mikhail, trying to protect her baby. It looked like the cat had tried to attack the squirrels, and the mom was able to fight him off and protect her baby, but the baby was injured already, so she knew that she needed to get some help to protect him from the cat. That was where Mikhail came in. Mikhail liked all animals. He had even thought about getting a house care during the long months of isolation, so you would never normally chase any animals away, but he would have to put that aside for now and think of the safety of the squirrel mom and her baby. Mikhail went up to the tree that the cat was in, and he gently tried to get the cat down without frightening it. The cat checked him out, and then stretched out wide and jumped out from the branches. Then Mikhail shooed him away. At first, the cat didn't seem bothered by his attempts. He tried to get to Mikhail on his side by rubbing on his legs even as he was trying to chase him away. But then the cat suddenly started to walk back to the squirrels, and he seemed like he was stalking them and getting ready to pounce. Mikhail knew that he needed to be a lot firmer with the cat, and this time he made a lot more noise and was a lot less gentle when chasing the cat away. Finally, the cat ran in a different direction. He did stop a little way off, but when Mikhail chased him farther, he ran away completely. Mikhail felt kind of bad about chasing the cat until he got back to the squirrel and her baby that still couldn't move much. They were safe for now, but the baby would still need medical attention and help that Mikhail couldn't provide. He phoned a local animal rescue to come out and check the squirrels and help them out. While Mikhail waited for the animal rescue to arrive, he waited around with the squirrels to ensure that they would be okay. It was pretty cool hanging out with some wild animals, and they were completely calm with him around. Mama Squirrel just knew that she could relax with her new friend, keeping an eye on them both. The rescue team came out eventually and took the mother with the baby to get his leg tended to. Thanks to his mother's big heart that made her really brave, and thanks to the help of their new friend, the mother and the baby would be safe and he could heal. After some time, the rescue team let Mikhail know that the squirrels were back to full health and ready to get back home. They would put them in a different area of the park and hope that the cat wouldn't come back again, but you wouldn't believe what Mikhail did next. He lived right next to the park and had a house that had a huge tree in the backyard. Instead of letting the squirrels go straight back to the park, he asked the rescue team if they could do something slightly different. He wanted to release them into the tree at his home. There, they would have the option of going over a small road and back into the park where they used to live, but it could also provide a safe place for them to live and to get back used to living in the wild. The rescue team agreed, and one early morning they released the squirrels into the big tree in Mikhail's yard. The baby was much bigger, but Mikhail still felt really attached to them. For an extended duration, the squirrels resided in his yard, yet eventually they appeared to depart. During the winter season, he scarcely spotted any squirrels, including those in the park. However, once summer arrived, the squirrels resumed their regular visits to his tree, and he fancied the notion that his previous acquaintances were among the visitors. I hope you liked this video. Please share and subscribe to our channel. Also, press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.